Hello everyone and welcome to Thought Radio. Today I am so excited. I'm here with Edward, who is an incredible, successful businessman. He's an incredible entertainer and somebody that I admire so much. Thank you so much, Ed, for joining us today and sharing your thoughts on what it's like to be a very strong and powerful entrepreneur.
Sheena, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Ed, I love your work. Listen, Ed, we can talk about everything. I mean, we've talked about business and branding. I mean, we've even talked about politics.
Yes.
We've talked about aliens.
Aliens. Built the pyramids.
I think today what I want to do is I'm going to gather all the things that we talked about over the last year and pick the three most important things that I believe that entrepreneurs need to become successful in business. So the first thing that, and not only do I think that they need to do, I think you're doing very successfully. I mean, you do a lot of things very successfully, but these are the three things that I feel that you do very well and better than most.
Yes. Sheena is awesome and so are you for watching.
So the first thing, Ed, events.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of events and networking?
Now, that's a great question, awesome Sheena. Now, I'll tell you why events are so important, my awesome friends, is because of this. When you run events, it speeds up the sales process multiple times because instead of people just seeing you on Facebook or LinkedIn forever, you actually meet them one-on-one, you meet face-to-face, and what's better, you have great leverage. So instead of you just talking to someone one-on-one, you bring 50 people to your event. Massive leverage and multiplication. Great strategy, and you can do events for free. Great strategy, and I love it, and you're in the zone.
Can you talk a little bit about the execution of events? I mean, saying that is really simple and easy, but what are the steps that you take to run your events all year long?
What I generally recommend, I personally do free fortnightly evening seminars every 2 weeks, being a fortnight, and it works incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I recommend to people starting their events is this. Start with a monthly free event of some form. It can be a meetup. Meetup's a great platform. Put your event on there.
Mm-hmm.
It can just start off with 3 or 4 of you having a chat about whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're in yoga for argument's sake. You might have a free yoga group. Let's say you're a coach, you might have a free mindset discussion panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if you're an awesome thought leader specialist like Sheena, you might have a meetup group talking about thought leadership. You might only start off with 3 or 4 people. My group only starts with 3 or 4 people. I know I get 60 plus every time. Now, what I suggest is this. You can speak to great companies like WeWork and Iona. You can get really good, if not free, office space from them to run your events.
Wow.
Put it on Meetup, start your event. You'll get people along and do a great job and give value, and you'll build your following, and part of that following will turn into paying high-value customers.
Yes. So just on that, would you give us maybe 1 or 2 tips to get started? I mean, you're now the Meetup Sydney rep.
Yes.
And I know you use Meetup very, very regularly. You are an expert at that tool, and I see you doing it very, very well. Can you talk a little bit about, first of all, what's that role as the Meetup Sydney rep?
Yes.
And how can entrepreneurs take advantage of this?
Oh, sure. Yeah, so over the break, actually, I was very lucky to be offered the Meetup City Organiser role for Sydney. So what Meetup HQ have done is around the world, they've appointed a bunch of volunteers, volunteer role, a bunch of volunteers to actually help them help other Meetup City organisers. So basically what it involves is every month, I'm running an event for Meetup New York, which people are invited to so they can learn how to run a meetup group according to best practices, right? Mm-hmm. And to clarify, I'm not with the meetup police or anything like that. I'm there to help everyone build their own meetup groups in their own unique way. So it's very important. And basically in the meetup, so I've got one coming up at the end of the month. If you're interested, message Sheena and I can pass on the details.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you've booked in. You're coming, aren't you?
I am coming. We'll talk.
Sheena is coming. Yeah. Winning. Anyway, we're winners.
Oh my goodness, Ed, you are hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a Meetup rep, and you're also the MC of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, New South Wales Business Chamber. I'm a host MC there, help them run their events. It's really good because New South Wales Business Chamber is the biggest of its kind in Australia. It's been around for almost 200 years, literally, being literal there. And it's full of incredible people and successful people. It's full of people who are powerful. And just to clarify, when I say powerful, you can have someone who's at the top or someone who's at the bottom, but give them 3 years and they will be powerful. So it's full of people who, if they're not powerful, check out what car they're driving in 2 to 3 years, right?
Right.
That's the way it goes. So people, you can't stay a failure very long in New South Wales Business Chamber.
Especially hanging out with you.
And of course, yes, and people like Sheena is incredible.
What about
God bless her heart. Wonderful human being.
What about New South Wales Chamber of Commerce? What's your involvement in that?
Yeah, so with New South Wales Business Chamber, so I'm a volunteer there as well.
Okay, cool.
So host MC,
and
I just volunteer to help them out. Now the reason why I do it is, besides me being a wonderful human being, it's great for me because exposure for me gets me customers, pure and simple. The more people I meet, the more customers I get, full stop.
Yeah.
And it's good for the chamber because I bring in a lot of people, I promote them, and it's all win-win.
Yeah.
So it's all really good.
Great. So Meetup, Chamber of Commerce, New South Wales Business Chamber.
Oh, sorry. New South Wales Business Chamber is the same place. So New South Wales Business Chamber is the same as Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, right.
That's New South Wales Business Chamber. But I'm also in British Chamber.
Oh, that's
which
right.
is what you might be thinking.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And British Chamber's more corporates and more medium and large corporate businesses.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the events and the networking down to a pad.
Yes, and it's taken me a very good. I've been in business for a short while, but it's taken me a very hard 2 years to really get the mix optimized and right.
Right.
So, for example, my meetup groups my first meetup group about 2 years ago was 3 people, right? So that's okay. You'll start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Fine.
So we've got events covered, and networking covered. Next on the list, what I think you do very well, and I think entrepreneurs need to know, this is really important. You know, it's not a business unless you're selling.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how to bundle products and services? And what is your approach of, packaging up your IP and delivering that and selling that?
Yeah, well, first thing is with packages, the first thing I can say is that before you create packages, it's good to actually work with a few customers and find out what they want. So what I suggest to people is first, just do custom work, just quote per job at the start, and get a feel for what is small, medium, and large, or budget to premium. It's good to get a feel for that. Right.
Okay.
Every business is different, right? So there's no formula here because everyone's different, right? So it's good to get a feel of what your customers on the bottom end, like the budget end, want, and what your customers on the premium end want.
Right.
And usually the default is you have 3 packages: small, medium, large. Entry, mid-range, premium.
Yeah.
Quite normal.
Right.
So for example, in my case, I have a $97 a month Awesome Marketing Vault. I run regular workshops at anything from $600 a month onwards. Plus people might hire me one-on-one for personal mentoring at about $2,000 a month. Again, entry, mid-range, premium.
Right. Do you do any negotiations?
No.
It's either in or out.
Well, and it's funny actually, I get asked this all the time actually. And in fact, I had someone actually harass me at an event recently trying to negotiate with me. Not a good idea, right? But basically, and they really annoyed me. Not because here's the point, right? And this is my big advice to everyone out there, right? Do not negotiate with terrorists, right? But seriously though, because let's say, whatever you charge, $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, whatever you charge, be it you're doing websites or mentoring or selling property or whatever, don't negotiate. I'll tell you what, every time I've negotiated, if you don't mind me saying this word, I have been screwed every time. Don't negotiate, because here's the point. When I hire people, I don't negotiate. People will say, hi, let's say I want to get a website. How much? $5,000. Okay, I'll just buy it. I either buy it or I don't. I will never negotiate with people, nor will I be negotiated with.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
Now, this is very important because people, here's the problem, here's the point. Let's say you negotiate with someone and they screw you down on price. You can't do as good a job. Everyone loses. So here's the point. I was saying this morning to a client actually.
Yes.
Just say no.
Yeah.
Wait for the right clients to come your way.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you now, the people who negotiate, they usually don't do that well in business because everyone hates them.
Yeah.
Like the person who tried it on me the other week, I don't like him anymore, right?
You don't want to get on your bad side.
Well, it's sort of like, I wouldn't do it to them. I'm not going to let them do it to me. And my advice to you is Sydney's a tough city, awesome friends. Don't let people screw you. Treat people fairly and demand free treatment yourself.
Yes, and finally on this note, let's talk about contracts.
Yes.
tell the entrepreneurs how important it is to have a contract in place before you start working.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important to have, and when we say the word contract can mean a bunch of different things. A contract is not necessarily a big, thick legal document, right? A contract can be an email agreement, right? Legally, a contract is also a handshake, but then the problem is there's no record of it, so people can debate what the contract is. But to clarify, a contract does not have to be a thick legal agreement with people, right? It can be an email where people agree, right? That's what a contract can be. A contract is an agreement between two parties, right? And to me, this is very important. Whether you choose to get a big, thick legal contract or not is up to you, but here's the key points. The key fundamentals of any deal need to be done in writing and agreed upon, be it a thick contract or an email. Both equally hold up in court.
Right.
Now, I'm not a solicitor, and I'm not giving legal advice, but I'll tell you this. An email agreement holds up in court as much as a signed document. I've seen both used.
Wow, excellent. Great. Okay, so Ed, we've got the events down. We've now got
Yes.
products and services down.
Yes.
Let's talk about the execution.
Execution.
Can we please tell the entrepreneurs about how much execution they should be doing to be as successful as?
Well, execution. Okay, so let's say you write your marketing plan and have this great chat and you feel good. Execution will determine whether you win or lose, and also win by how much. For example, I used to run events very poorly about every 6 to 8 weeks. They were rubbish. No, they weren't rubbish. It was like a cheeseburger, maybe 4 out of 10. Right? I barely made any money. Sucked. Now they're awesome. They're the best. They're seriously the best in town. I invite you to come. In fact, Sheena, you're speaking at our events next week.
I know.
And Sheena's amazing. Yes. But here's the big point, though.
Yeah.
I now run events every fortnight. They're meticulously run, and it gives more value to the attendees. Plus, I make more money out of it through the customers I get. So it's win-win.
Yeah, well, you're just talking about the offline. What about the execution online? I mean, I see your face every single day, all day long.
Yeah. Well, I like to do 2 or 3 videos a day.
I love seeing your face. But
Likewise, yeah. I love doing about 2 or 3 videos a day. And what I'll do is I'll do a video on my phone, and then I'll upload it to Facebook and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right? It works great.
Yeah.
Right? I might, if I'm home one evening, I might do a Facebook Live at 8 o'clock at night.
Yep.
And I like doing live webinars every fortnight.
Yeah. And you do calls almost every single day.
Yes.
And you've got your KPIs.
KPIs, yes.
Yeah.
So for example, this is one I prepared earlier, but what I like doing is I carry with me everywhere, sorry, pardon me, I like to carry with me everywhere my business and marketing plan. This is page 1, which is the annual dashboard. This is page 2, which is an 90-day action plan, but this is the KPIs.
Oh, look at that.
And that's what I follow. And that's a picture of Trump and Gordon Ramsay on there.
And these are really beautiful pieces of paper too. You know,
Yes.
you can really show the excellence in your execution.
So it's like nice thick cards, so it's not like, so it's quite firm. See that?
And you're so silly. Now listen, you have help
Yes.
in your business.
Yes.
Your lovely, wonderful, beautiful wife,
Yes.
Lassie. Oh my
Lassie,
gosh.
amazing woman. Incredible.
She is, I mean, she just weaves in and out of your brand and your story so beautifully. She's the most wonderful welcoming committee.
Yes,
she takes
she is.
photos.
She's incredible.
And she supports you completely.
Yep,
and,
she's
and
wonderful.
same with Maddie. Maddie's got to sit there while you're doing your push-ups and
Yeah.
she comes in and says
Yeah,
hello. And
that's great.
So I really love how you use the whole family
Yes.
as part of your brand. It really makes it a personal experience with you. And I believe that that's another great part of your execution.
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important. And it depends on what your setup is. Like, you know, I met my awesome wife about 3 years ago. Got married about a year later. Had kids and all that. So it's interesting because each of us have different circumstances. You might have a business partner. You might have friends. You might have a family. You might be on your own. So I started off on my own, right? Each of us, based on the wheel of luck, start with a certain bundle of penalties and strengths, right? And here's the big point. The worst thing you can do is say, I can't do this because of this. At the end of the day, we've all got a different basket of advantages and disadvantages. The idea is working with what you have to take advantage of the situation.
Wow. Well, Ed, I think we've covered the 3 most important topics that entrepreneurs can nail down. Before I close this off, I want one question. When do you relax?
You know what? I'm relaxing right now with the awesome Sheena who rocks.
Do you think I did a good job in identifying the 3 things that entrepreneurs need to nail?
I don't think you did a good job. I think you did a great job.
Thank you so much, Ed.
I do mean that
now
too, by the
listen,
way.
before I really want to recognize you. You know, I work with a lot of thought leaders, but
Yes.
I believe that you're actually an industry influencer.
Yes.
I mean, I think that they're very similar, but influencer is that you are influencing Sydney. I have seen your success.
I have disrupted Sydney.
You have. Like, listen.
Yes.
No, listen, Ed. Listen to me. You started off as a round table of 10 people. Then you
3
moved,
people.
You moved. And I've seen this success. You've moved to a high-end cocktail bar with 30 people. And the event last week was pushing 100. People were falling out of the area, you know, outside and over to the side, and you were moving that room. And I want to just congratulate you on the incredible success that you've had. You're always delivering value.
Yes.
You're always extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
And you're always there every 24/7. Whenever I need something, you're always there,
Yeah.
and for everyone. And I see that.
And you just summarized, that's how I'm winning, right? And it's not just me, right? Now, again, I came to Sydney 10 years ago in debt, right? So I didn't come here with mummy and daddy, right? Albeit my mummy and daddy rocks. But what happened to me, I came to Sydney like a lot of people do. I was actually less than broke. I was in debt when I came here, right? Like being
You
broke.
were sleeping in your car, weren't
Yeah, it was
you?
awesome. DY Beach. If you're ever living in your car, live at DY Beach. Best place in town to live in your car. Anyway, it's really good there actually. Anyway, but here's the point though. Here's the serious point. Ultimately, it's how much value you deliver and how consistently, right? So again, I say, if you're just going networking once a month, you're dead meat. It's not going to work. But if you're out there 3 times a week, you're going to win. So for example, I'm off to a networking event in Neutral Bay tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Winning.
Winning, and winning.
On that note.
Yes.
Oh. Can we please show the audience how? I mean, you do the best Trump impersonations, and you know every time you do it, you just get better and better and better. So shall we show the audience?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should said, the people who are watching this video, Sheena Alexandra is a true patriot and she is a great person. Use her to help you keep winning, and winning. Is that all right?
You're so awesome, Ed.
Cool.
Listen, guys, I totally encourage you to go and visit Ed. How do we get in touch with you?
Well,
Besides,
speak to Sheena, and speak to Sheena and say, look, Sheena, I love that conversation you had with that great-looking guy in the red top. Introduce me. Let Sheena make the introduction, so when we meet, you and I can have a real conversation, so we can all win big.
I love you, Ed. Thanks so much for your time
Love
today.
your work.